प्रोग्राम को गाइड करने के लिए आमंत्रित करना चाहूँगा आज के मुख्य अतिथि प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर ओंकार सिंह सर को, कि जो कि हमें हमेशा गाइड करते हैं, एक शिक्षा के मंदिर में हमेशा रोशनी फैलाते हैं और हम सदैव उनके आभारी रहते हैं।
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dignitaries sitting on the dais, management of this institution, director and his team, dear faculty members, participants and delegates who have joined this faculty development program being organized by JB Institute of Technology under the aegis of All India Council for Technical Education. The theme of this faculty development program revolves around the artificial intelligence and data science. We all are well versed with the two phrases. These two terms, artificial intelligence and data science, have been creating buzz since last many years now. If you look at the total engineering educational framework, it appears that everything is revolving around IT domain, and with the birth of this artificial intelligence, this has undergone a paradigm shift. This change which is happening today, where most of the things are being automated, and the automation is to the extent that we want them to happen on their own. We are trying to create systems which are capable of taking decisions. We are trying to create systems which are capable of giving directions. And with the generative AI coming into place, even the thinking abilities are also being brought in. With the embedding of the cognitive skills which are being attempted through artificial intelligence, we are definitely going to land up in a different realm. We have to keep in mind that the systems which human beings have created, they have been created to supplement the human initiatives and efforts. The artificial intelligence based systems which we are going to create, we are trying to make them so autonomous that they should be in a position to decide everything, direct everything, conduct everything, and complete the proceedings even without human intervention. We are living in an age of Industry 4.0, where the cyber physical systems have been dominating the whole landscape of the present day civilization. This predominance of the cyber physical systems has eventually landed up in a regime where the human interventions are gradually getting marginalized. This marginalization of the human intervention becomes worrisome at times. The educational institutions which we have today, we have more than 1100 universities in the country. The footfall of the students would be close to 4 crore and odd numbers. Now, such a huge number of student intake which we have, especially in a country which is one of the youngest country of the world in terms of age. So the liability which we have, that's a huge liability. The governments have been pushing forward to enhance the gross enrollment ratio. The attempt to increase the gross enrollment ratio has resulted in resurgence of so many institutions, capacity enhancement, so that everybody who is aspiring for education, any type of education, that should be made available. At least the opportunity should be made available. In the process, what has happened, there has not been sufficient control on the quality of the deliveries. I am saying so because I am in the audience which is responsible for taking the higher technical and professional education forward. You all have to think about 10, 15, 20 years back, the way the educational deliveries were there in the classroom and the way things are being delivered today. There is a sea change in the deliveries today as compared to 2 decades back. Whereas if you look at the education process, it's a very simple process. We are trying to complicate it. Education is one of the most simplest thing. I perceive that the educational deliveries need a student, you need a pupil, you need a teacher, and you need an enabler. That's all. Nothing else is required. But what has happened over a period of time, with the intervention of the technology happening at every stage, what is being felt? It is felt as if technology is something which will be taking the mission of teaching learning forward. That's one of the biggest challenge which we are going to face, and the challenge is visible today. Despite everything being provided to the students on their mobiles, which are there in everybody's hand, everything is accessible through the internet. Every knowledge repository is accessible to them. But if you look at the quality, that has gone down. It has a clear message that the educators have to understand that we need not to shift from the core methodology which we had many decades back, because the education, teaching, learning is a very simple process. There have been a lot of saying that the experiential learning is missing, project-based learning is missing, students do not go for hands-on. But who is responsible? It's we who are responsible. We have failed in providing them the requisite environment and the laboratories. We have brought our laboratory exercises to the tabletop. We have never allowed students to open up and experiment in true sense. What we are doing, we are customizing the even experiment notebooks, and the only blanks which are there, they are the observation blanks. You might have seen it, and there is so much of customization and so much of spoon feeding that we do not give any opportunity to the students to think on their own, to experiment on their own, and then we complain that we do not have the experiential learning in the curriculum. I am pretty confident that no education system will ever roll out the curriculum which is deficient in any respect. Curriculums are not deficient. The deficiency lies in how do you perceive it and how do you deliver it. So as an educator, we have to be very careful and we have to be sensitive about the role which we are in. It could be by choice, it could be by luck or by default that you are part of the academia. But if you are part of the academia, you are the one who have to shape the generations. With the way online interventions have been there after COVID-19, these things have been accepted. Now it's an accepted norm. Online participation of anybody in any process is now considered to be, even if you talk in terms of the legitimacy, we do not question it because we all have accepted it. But this gradual acceptance of the online interventions, where it has led to? It has led to the educational processes also being carried out in the online manner. This could be true. It could be worthwhile for certain subject domains. But one thing is very clear, that the kind of education system which we are in, especially the engineering and professional education, we will never be in a position to do justice. Howsoever effective your online teaching learning methodology may be, howsoever good your ecosystem may be, but if you talk of the delivery content, the values which are being delivered, they are always going to be deficient. When we interact in the classroom, it's not the learning only through what we are delivering on blackboards or whiteboards. Even the PowerPoint presentations, when they came in, it was a glamour attached to them. It definitely helps the teacher to enhance the volume of content to be delivered in classroom. But at the back of it, what happens? The repeatability comes. Teacher doesn't invest any time. He has a set of say 100, 200, 500 slides ready with him or her. Every semester or every year, whenever you are teaching that subject, you will be slightly modifying your slides, and you need not to make any preparation. You will simply go to the classroom, start your presentations. Students are also happy. They are engrossed in the camera of the screen, the way you are presenting, but they do not really get involved because their mind, their hands, their eyes and ears that coordination is missing. So as a teacher, we have to ponder upon all these issues. With the online interventions happening, the online education also being accepted, the day is not far off when we'll not be needing brick and mortar buildings like this. Why do we need this campus? Because we can very well create a robot which has a capability to deliver like a teacher. You have seen that in one of the news portal, it's a national level news portal, you find there is a news segment where AI chatbot is coming and reading the news. It's very similar to some gentleman or some person. So if this has started happening, so you should be worried about that your replicas would also come in, and those chatbots which will your look-alike, they will be delivering the content and you will be losing your relevance. We do not need such big campuses. What we'll be needing? We'll be needing a data center. We'll be needing a control room. We'll be needing an AI-enabled chatbot, say processing center, through which we'll be delivering the content, and every student will be watching it and going through it, learning or not learning. We are least bothered about it, but the processes will be happening. That's what is happening. Even the experimentation is being done. The way we are focusing on artificial intelligence, that's pretty good, and that's very timely initiative, and we should not miss this bus. We have to be proactive. We have to create a lot of, say, human resource which is capable of making new interventions through artificial intelligence, machine learning, or data sciences. But at the same time, we have to be careful that we should not lose our relevance, and the artificial intelligence should not be taken to the extent which is very difficult to control now, to the extent that it replaces us as individuals. Because if that happens, what would be missing? The missing part would be empathy would be missing. The commitment would be missing. The integrity would be missing. The personal care would be missing, because ultimately the machines are machines. We should not roll out the systems which are going beyond our control. This much care we need to take. Keep on creating the human resource to the highest level of competence as far as artificial intelligence is concerned. The artificial intelligence has its own potential. We have the opportunity because we have a huge human resource available with us. We can train them. We can allow them to do all kind of experiments across the globe. But the complete replacement is going to be worrisome. So that's it, something which I wanted to share with you. As far as the technology is concerned, I am a strong advocate of use of technology, but at the same time, the integrity of the processes, and those who are using technology, they have to understand what technology can eventually do and what it cannot do. So we should not allow technology to enter into the regime which we say that technology cannot do. It's not some rocket science. Everybody knows it. Everybody understands it. We are sitting in a hall where close to 100 people are interacting with each other. You will be interacting for a couple of days. But if the same process is being done through a replica of some individual and things are projected on screen, just imagine what's going to be the situation. Because technology is having potential to do that. The chatbots have that capability. The replicas can be created. The robots have that capability. They can replace, but we should not allow them to replace. They should only be restricted to supplement the processes and improve the efficacy of the deliveries, efficacy of the processes, and that should be the understanding at the back whenever we are dealing with the advancement of technology. And it should be only a blessing. It should not be a curse. With these words, I extend my best wishes to the JB Institute of Technology. I understand it's my 5th or 6th visit here, and in the same hall, I have interacted with a lot of people, including students, and I'm very happy to see that these initiatives are being taken by the institution. It will definitely have some impact on some of the participants. I cannot assure that everybody will be getting benefited, but definitely it will be creating some mark on someone. So let this process continue. My best wishes to the organizers and to all the participants for sparing their precious time and coming over here to improve their understanding, and polish themselves. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best. Jai Hind.